Hey guys, I'm going to talk to you about what every married couple wants to talk about: marriage and divorce. No, I'm just kidding. We don't want to talk about divorce. But I want to talk to you about how not to become another statistic. In America today, married couples are getting divorced at 40 to 50% rate. That's just crazy. We need to ask ourselves, is the marriage really worth saving? And not just to take the easy way out. Divorce is just the last and final solution. That's just calling it quits. You're not even trying anymore. There's other ways to go about fixing a marriage instead of divorce. We'll talk about these later on. Right now, in order to have a good marriage, it's just like a home. You have to start with a good foundation. In order for your home or a marriage to last for years and years and years, it's got to have a good foundation. And a good way to do this is to find common interests, likes and dislikes. Maybe bowling or, religion. Another good way is to build a good best friend relationship. Someone that you can really be honest with, someone that you can relate to, and just all around be yourself. Another way, discuss what you expect out of marriage. Kids, no kids, the location at home, your lifestyle. Another way, learn to accept your spouse for who they are. Don't go into a relationship trying to change that person to please you. You gotta accept them, flaws and all. Lack of communication can lead to breakdowns. There are times that you just need to calmly discuss a situation. Most of all, you need to listen to what others are saying in order to resolve the situation. Just sit down, take time out of your day to discuss what's going on and how you guys can work together to fix it. Don't respond without thinking. Don't go jumping to conclusion. Men, we have this problem. We tend to let our mouths fly a little bit. Of course, ladies, I'm sure there's some of you that can just go at it too. But just don't go jumping to conclusions. Look into the situation. Again, don't try to read something that's not there. Another one, men, sometimes silence is key. You find yourself getting into that argument, that heated moment. It's best just to zip and just walk away, go to a quiet space, go down to your shop, do whatever. Ladies, that's all I can say for you too. Same thing. Just get away from each other, be able to cool off some steam, then come back together and work things out quiet or calmly, just like that one up there. Okay. Next point. Don't always point out the negatives. For example, remember when? That'll always get you in trouble. That's not a good one. Always pointing out the past and bringing it up is never a good thing. That always leads to arguments as well. Causes of divorce. The biggest one of divorce is finances. And one way to work out your finances is before you even think about marriage. You can be engaged, but you guys really need to talk about your finances, your savings, your spending, your house, what you expect out of this marriage financial wise. You guys, that's really important. Otherwise, you could really end up in a hole real quick. Marriage ain't cheap. Trust me. Okay, sometimes, Both of you got to work. In the economy today, with the rising prices of fuel, cars, homes, it's quite expensive, and a lot of times it's requiring us to both work. Um, so you really need to be supportive of one another. If you're not backing each other's job up, then there's going to be tension and argument there as well. And so, really, that job that that person has, husband, wife, whatever, just try to support them to the fullest. Um, and then obviously, if you both work, share the work at home. Men, you can do dishes, you can do laundry, you can cook, you can clean, you can do a lot of things that what the so-called ladies are supposed to do, but us men are fully capable as well. You got to share the chores around the house. Otherwise, nothing's going to get done. The house is going to always stay messy because you're always going to be, well, I ain't doing it, you're going to do it. Work together. It's just an easier way to get through marriage. Other factors of divorce, obviously, the easy way out. And I always say the easy way out is just saying I quit. That's where you just give up. That's not caring, you know. Really, it's a selfish way. We need to think about the other person as well. Are their feelings the same, or is it just you? You really got to put that in perspective. Another way is taking advantage of one another. That's basically what I'm talking about. Is maybe you're taking your wife for granted because you go to work and she stays home, so you are always expecting her to cook, clean, do whatever. That's not the case. That will get you into a fight as well. It's even though men, women, the working person, whoever, they don't like to do more work than they have to once they get off their primary job, but it's all part of helping out and having a household. Even though your wife or husband is a stay-at-home mom or dad, they still get stressed out. They still have, they still need their resting time. How to strengthen a marriage. Okay? Well, the number one biggest thing in order to keep a marriage strong is communication. Communication is key. You really got to talk to each other, discuss your day, be interested in what the other person has to say, really get some one-on-one time with each other. Date nights, I can't stress enough how important a date night is. You got to get a date night in there at least once a month. If you have kids, go get grandma and grandpa. Tell them to watch them. Babysitter, whoever. You got to take a break. You got to give yourselves time in order to get back together and reconnect. Make a list of your pros and cons about your spouse. You can kind of work together on this, don't make it too harsh, otherwise you might be getting into a little bit of a battle there with each other. Just don't always go towards the negative side though. Find more good in your spouse, because you got to remember why you fell in love with them to begin with. And I kind of just covered that here. Here's another biggie. No relationship is perfect at all. Okay? You're gonna have your arguments. You're gonna have your disagreements. But you just gotta approach it's all about how you approach the imperfections and how you go about resolving issues. correct yourself before pointing out their flaws. Sorry about that. Before you go pointing out their wrongs and rights, you really need to take a good hard look at yourself first before you go pointing the finger and doing the whole blame game thing. It's it's really important that you don't just jump right in there and rip their heads off, in the middle of an argument. Sorry, guys. My mouse went a little crazy on me. Okay, I'm going to conclude this by basically doing like a self-analysis. You need to stop, take a step back, evaluate yourself, decide on how important this relationship is to you, talk to each other, and there goes my thing again. There we go. Talk to each other about everything. Really listen to each other. What your idea is of a good marriage. And like I said before, no marriage is perfect. Develop your common interests. Never take each other for granted. I mean, that is a must there as well. All in all, sometimes we have to agree to disagree. In the heated moments, it's best just to say okay and walk away. That's a good saying. Seeking counseling is not a sin. It's not wrong. Don't act like you're too good for it. It does work for some people. You can see a professional counselor, or you can seek your pastor. Sometimes we need to get an outside perspective, to help clean up our vision. There's one thing that we try to do in my family, and you have man and you have wife, and when you just have man and wife, okay, you've just got a straight line, and your strongest bond is a triangle. And so if you put God at the top, it forms a triangle, and that is the strongest structure that you can have. Now, I'm not trying to get any religious on you. This is just one thing that my family does. But it's very important that you have good communication, a good friendship, you talk to each other, you get that date night in, you have some one-on-one time, and you really push hard in order to save your marriage and not just call it quits. This is the end of my discussion and my speech. Thank you, and have a great day.